What is up guys, Dzeeff here. Today I wanted to talk about the future of the ban list in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Now I know some of you guys watching today's video probably only play Master Duel, maybe you don't play the OCG or the TCG formats, and for that reason I wanted to make this video to kind of explain some of the problems that might happen in this game in regards to the ban list. It's important to note here, just in case you guys don't know, that this game uses a card pool that is very outdated. At this point it's like 3 core sets behind the TCG and almost a year behind the OCG, while using a ban list that is similar but not exactly the same as the OCG ban list from a few months ago. For that reason, the format in Master Duel is completely unique. We have not seen it before, and that isn't necessarily a problem per se, but there are going to be some issues in the future with the ban list, and I wanted to talk about those in today's video. I should mention here that we don't really know when or if we're getting a new ban list in this game anytime soon. I would imagine that we would get a new ban list once new cards are added, but in the same way that we don't know when a ban list is going to show up, we have no idea when new cards are going to be added into the game either. I'm hoping for the best, and the best case scenario would be that when these selection packs are like rotated out of the store in 18 days, that maybe we'll get more selection packs with new cards in them, but at this point it's a little bit too early to tell. It seems like Konami likes dropping new updates on this game pretty much out of nowhere, so we really don't know when new cards will be added, and we don't know when a new ban list will be added. That being said, there are some problems with the ban list that could come up that I wanted to talk about. For example, one problem that could happen is that if they update the card pool by giving us new cards without updating the ban list, the card pool in this game might be 6 months or a year ahead of the ban list in Master Duel. As someone that plays the TCG, this ban list is pretty weird. There are lots of cards that are banned that obviously should be banned, but it feels like there are a lot of cards that have been banned in the TCG for a while that are unbanned in this game, and they're really not fun to play against. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen on Twitter or in my own comment section people complaining about certain cards and saying they should be banned, not realizing that they've been banned in the TCG for a long time. For example, cards like Rongo, cards like a lot of the Drytron support like Eva is banned in the TCG, cards like Imperial Order and Vanity's Emptiness are banned in the TCG. Block Dragon is banned in the TCG, so Adamancipators aren't crazy. Union Carrier is banned in the TCG, which is a really good card in this game. There are tons of cards that are banned in the TCG that are not banned in Master Duel, because this format is like 90% of the OCG ban list, which is pretty different from the TCG. But we are in this situation where the ban list is pretty close to the OCG's ban list, but the card pool is quite different. And I am worried if Konami adds more cards into the game without updating the ban list, that the format will become even more broken. It's worth mentioning here that every format is going to have broken meta decks. That's just any card game, but some formats are a bit more forgiving than others. At the moment, if you play against a Drytron player or an Adamancipator player that knows what they're doing and you don't open a hand trap or a forbidden droplet, although honestly sometimes even those aren't enough, you usually are just going to lose. There's nothing you can do. So the format in this game can be pretty punishing, especially because this format is a best of one, so you only play single games instead of matches. Now who knows if Konami is going to add matches into Master Duel in the future, but at the moment the ranked ladder is best of ones. So a lot of decks that maybe wouldn't be as good in real life are way better in this game because there's no side decking. For example, Eldritch is insanely good in this game, maybe not as top tier now as it was when the game first released, but it's still a very frustrating deck to play against for a lot of decks. And in this game it's even better because there's no side decking, there's no games 2 or 3, so you can't just side deck cards like Lightning Storm or Evenly Matched and stuff like that. That makes decks like Eldritch very good in this game, and I think people are pretty frustrated with that. So another question about the ban list that I'm a little bit concerned about is that will Konami acknowledge the cards that are clearly broken in best of ones, or are they just going to pretend that this is just like regular Yu-Gi-Oh? Now notably, and I'm not sure which cards exactly because I do not know the entire OCG ban list by heart because I play the TCG format, but they have banned a few cards in this game that are not banned in the OCG ban list that this ban list is based on. So clearly Konami at least acknowledges a little bit that this format is different than the OCG or the TCG, but I am a little bit concerned about how much they are willing to acknowledge that, because if they only hit the cards that are really unfair, they might still leave some really problematic cards in the format format. I think that the best of one aspect of Master Duel is fine, although I'd like to see a different mode for like best 2 out of 3, but I really do think the ban list needs to reflect the best of one nature of this game, and I'm not sure how much Konami is willing to do that, especially in the future. Like I said, right now this game uses about 90% of the OCG ban list from a few months ago, as far as I know, but they could take it in a very different direction and do like a world's ban list. So at the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship, they play with a ban list that is basically the OCG ban list plus the TCG ban list, and when it comes to cards that are banned in one format and unlimited in the other format, when you play with the world's ban list, they are going to be banned. So that could be an interesting change. I don't know if Konami would ever do that, but that would cause this game to be a lot more balanced, because the cards that are broken in either format would suddenly be banned in this game. So that could be a good way to hit a lot of the unfair cards, but you know, maybe Konami can leave a few cards unbanned that are actually really fun, but they're maybe banned in one of the formats. For example, That Grass Looks Greener I don't think is overpowered in this game. I think it's really exciting, but that card has been banned in the TCG for quite a while. I think it'd be cool if that card stayed at 3 in Master Duel, because I think it is a really fun deck building card, and I really wish it came back to at least 1 copy in the TCG, but until that happens, I mean, playing grass decks in Master Duel is a really fun thing. So there are cards like that where it's like they are restricted in the TCG, but I want them to be unrestricted in Master Duel because I think they promote fun play, but I don't want there to be cards like Rongo and Block Dragon and stuff like that that are clearly overpowered and very unfun to play against. So I think that there are some tricky questions when it comes to the ban list in this game. Does Konami want to stick mostly to the OCG ban list, or will they bring in more TCG hits in the future? Will Konami acknowledge the best of one nature of this game, or will they leave decks like Eldritch pretty much completely unchecked? There's also the question, will Konami give us back crafting materials if a card gets banned that you spent ultra rare tokens making? And I think that is a really good thing, because in Hearthstone, for example, when a card gets nerfed, they'll actually give you back a full refund for the dust that you used to make that card. So I think in this game that could be a cool thing, right? Like if out of nowhere they drop a ban list that hits a whole bunch of cards, you know, it'd be nice if they gave us back some of the resources or all of the resources that we used to craft those cards in the first place. Will Konami do that? I'm not entirely sure, but it would be pretty nice, right? This game will eventually, presumably, get a new ban list. I'm assuming it'll happen when the card pool is updated, but we really don't know what Konami is going to do, and they have to answer a lot of these questions before implementing a new ban list, or honestly, before adding new cards into the game. There are some situations, like for example, in the TCG, we have an archetype called B Troopers, which can very easily search out Max C. However, in the TCG, Max C is not legal, so that doesn't really matter, but in this game, if they ever want to add B Troopers, suddenly you have a pretty good combo deck that in every single combo can add Max C to their hand, and that obviously won't be very fun to play against, so I'm not sure what Konami is going to do about an archetype like that. I don't know, let me know in the comment section what you think about some of these questions that I brought up, because I really feel like Konami has a lot to figure out when it comes to the card pool and ban list in this game, especially if they want it to be around for a long time. If they are not going to give us like refunds for the crafting materials that we used on ultras and supers and stuff like that, they probably should announce in advance when a new ban list is going to drop. I believe that in Duel Links you get a ban list announcement and then it goes into effect like several weeks later, which gives you an opportunity to play with the cards one last time, and I think that this game should probably implement a feature like that as well. You know, if they're not going to tell us when the ban list is going to happen, they probably should give us a few weeks to play with the cards before they get banned. But like I said, I mean, Konami is going to eventually have to add a new ban list in this game, especially when they add more cards, but they have a lot of questions that they have to answer along the way. Let me know in the comment section below what you think Konami will do with the upcoming ban list in Master Duel. We don't know when it'll happen, but I'm sure it will eventually. Let me know what you think they should hit on their ban list. Do you think they should acknowledge the TCG ban list a little bit more and maybe hit some of the broken cards that are banned in the TCG that aren't banned in this game, or would you prefer them to mostly stick to the OCG ban list? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. I'll see you later though. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.